here as we drove this amazing vehicle, ship in the port. And I tell you, I looked out over Mayport, and it's very clear to me, and I'm sure you all agree, that Northeast Florida, the first coast of Florida, is truly an anchor for our national security. And the Navy recognizes this. Admiral Brenner, the CNO, Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mavis, they recognize our commitment to this mission, and that's why we have the arrival of this magnificent ship. And it's one, as you know, of 3 amphibious ready group ships that will make Mayport their home, and we want to welcome the USS New York and the crew of 360 with open arms. They, along with their families, are going to become part of the fabric of our community. And while this ship is tied up here at this pier, we have a dedicated and hard-working industrial base, people that work on ships, the ship repair group, and they're ready to keep this ship ready, willing, and able to meet any call for our nation. And then you all know that in the next year, 2014, the USS Iwo Jima and the USS Patrick McHenry will also come here. And when they make that transition, that means that 3,000 sailors and their families will now call Mayport their home. And that's great not only for our local community, but it's great for national defense. They'll be able to do things like offer humanitarian aid or take well-trained Marines to the next hot spot, whether it's here at home or somewhere around the world. And let's never forget that the men and women you see in uniform around here among you today, they are the true heroes this day. Every day they live out the core values of the Navy, of honesty and honor, courage and commitment. And they wake up every morning to make sure that the freedoms that you and I so often take for granted are held dear. We thank them for their service. They're stronger than the steel of this ship, and they work for us every day. Now let me say this. We face some difficult times in Washington, D.C. Some difficult economic decisions have to be made. And I think it's important, my longtime friend and colleague, Senator Bill Nelson, it's important for us to work together to make sure that we put the national security of this country, make sure that we put the health and safety of our citizens ahead of some of the partisan bickering that goes on. We've got to come to some conclusion to get rid of these devastating cuts that we call sequestration. And we're working to do that. But even now, the readiness of our military has seen a steep decline because of these cuts. We need to make sure that we turn that around. So we're going to work together, work as hard as we can. I'm going to try to convince my colleagues, and I know as Senator Nelson and I work together, one thing is for sure, we don't want to see the gains that we've made over the last 10 years. Ships like this and the littoral combat ships will come here in 2016. We don't want to see those gains set back. Could happen. So I want you to know that my commitment stands firm to say to all the services, to say to all the bases, not only this base, but bases around the world, and not only the men and women in uniform here, but wherever they might be. My commitment is to make sure that we do everything we can not to make any short-sighted, budget-driven decisions that turn back all the work we've done for the last 10 years to rebuild our military. So I'm going to plow forward with the help of my colleagues and make them realize that the only option we have is to move forward. So thank you all for what you do. Welcome to the Mayport family. Thank you.